You walk into a crowded room and immediately start counting the minutes until you can leave. Most people would call that antisocial. It isn't. It's one of 6 signs your brain is wired differently than most. Sign 1. You choose being alone over being in a crowd. This isn't shyness. Shyness is fear of social judgment. What you have is a genuine preference for solitude because your nervous system processes stimulation differently. Psychologist Susan Cain spent years studying this exact pattern and found that roughly a third of people share it. Their brains reach peak performance in low stimulation environments, not high ones. A party doesn't energize you. It drains you, and that's not a flaw. It's just a different battery. Sign 2. You think deeply, sometimes too deeply. A simple comment can send you spiraling through 5 different interpretations before you respond. Most people react. You calculate. This comes from a brain that runs more background processing on ordinary moments, turning small inputs into layered questions. It can be exhausting, but it's also why you catch details, patterns, and contradictions that everyone else walks straight past. Sign 3. You're not lazy, you're selective. Here's the truth about people who look unmotivated from the outside. Give them a task they find meaningless, and they'll stall for hours. Give them something that actually matters to them, and they'll outwork anyone in the room. This isn't a discipline problem. It's a filtering system. Your brain refuses to spend energy on anything it doesn't judge to be worth it. Researchers studying intrinsic motivation, going back to psychologists Deci and Richard Ryan, found this exact split. Motivation isn't about willpower. It's about relevance. Sign 4. You can read people almost instantly. You walk into a room and you already know who's uncomfortable, who's faking a smile, who's about to say something they don't mean. This skill often comes from years of paying closer attention than most people ever learn to. Every micro-expression, every pause before a sentence, every shift in tone becomes data. It's not a superpower. It's pattern recognition, sharpened by habit, but it can feel like one. Sign 5. Your interests don't look like anyone else's. While others follow trends, you're drawn to the obscure, the specific, things nobody around you has ever heard of. This isn't about being difficult. It's because your curiosity isn't socially driven. It's internally driven. You're not chasing approval. You're chasing understanding. And once something genuinely interests you, you can go deeper into it than almost anyone else would bother to. Sign 6. You control your emotions instead of being controlled by them. This doesn't mean you don't feel things intensely. You do, but somewhere along the way, you built a gap between the feeling and the reaction. Neuroscientists call this the difference between the amygdala's alarm and the prefrontal cortex's response. Most people react in that half-second gap. You use it, not because you're cold, because you learned, often the hard way, that a delayed response beats a regretted one. None of these traits on their own mean much, but together, they describe a mind that operates outside the default settings most people run on. You're not broken, you're not too much. You're just tuned to a different frequency, and the world was built for the other one.